By the time you finish this video, you'll know how to set up facial expressions on your 3D characters. We recently released a video where I turned myself into a Titan from Attack on Titan, and I promised to show you in more detail how I did the face. So here we go. If you want to follow along, pause this video and go dust off an old character you've made. If you don't already have a character, go to ProductionCrate, pick a humanoid character to practice on. I like the superhero man.
Hello.
There are many ways to create face rigs for 3D characters. One of the most powerful ways is blend shapes. Some programs have different names for this, like pose morphs or morph targets, but the concept is the same. Basically, it's sculpting a new and unique model for each possible movement and individual expression of the face. Now, if that sounds time-consuming, that's because it is. In fact, it can be hard just to find a list of all the expressions you need to make. Now, there are a few places online where you can buy a pack of facial blend shapes, but luckily for you, I found a set that's completely free. Let me show you how to set it up. First thing you need to do is go download this pack using the link in the description below. The artists and researchers at USC were generous enough to share their work with the world for zero cost, so be sure to credit them if you use these assets. Now let me give you a tour of what you just downloaded. If you dig around, you'll find a folder full of OBJs. Find the one called Generic Neutral Mesh, and import that into your favorite modeling package. This is your main head model. Now import the other OBJs of all the other various expressions and facial movements. You'll notice a big chunk of these that are called Identity 1 through 99. These adjust the bone structure of the character so you can actually change his likeness and create a bunch of different characters from this data set. Now if you're like me and you spent like an hour creating your Elden Ring character, this should be pretty familiar to you. Now if you don't already have your character ready to go, you can actually follow along using just what came in the download. But for those of you who already have a character and just want to steal the facial expressions like we did for the Attack on Titan video, let me show you how to set that up. The secret to making blend shapes work is that your character and all the expressions have to have the exact same edge flow. Here's a simple example to show you what I mean. Take a sphere and duplicate it a couple of times. Tweak the new versions into different shapes, but be sure not to add or remove any geometry. That's the key. Now you can make the tweaked versions into blend shapes, and use this slider to blend it with the original. You can even fade in both blend shapes to create something new. So to make this work, what you need to do is shrink wrap the generic neutral mesh from USC onto your custom character. Most programs will have a retopology feature that can be used for this. In Maya, it's called Quad Draw. In ZBrush, it's projection, and even Blender can do this. My favorite is Wrap 3 because it's really fast, so let me just do that really quick. Retopology is one of those topics that deserves its own video, so leave a comment if you'd like us to cover that in more detail in the future. Now that you have a version of the USC face that looks like your character, you can actually use that as if it was any other blend shape. So just import it into your scene and attach it as a blend shape, and then just turn on that blend shape and voila, the character resembles your custom face, and all the expressions work seamlessly. Experienced 3D users can even set up advanced controllers to manipulate the face like this. Like this video if you want me to show you how to do this in the future, and hit subscribe to be the first to know when that video comes out. And if you make anything cool with these blend shapes, be sure to share it with us on our Instagram or on Discord. Later, creators.